Hey guys, welcome to the 2017 Javelina Jundred race briefing video. We're excited to have you guys all show up in 1 week. So a little bit about this video, we're going to run through what you guys need to know to come out on race day. We have most everything already in our participant guide, which is up on our website, and hopefully you guys have already checked it out. This is probably your best source of information, but for those of you that would prefer to either listen to this information or view this information and watch us have a good time here,
sure, why not?
Check out this video. And we were not going to cover literally every word in this participant guide, so please do read through this, print it out, bring it with you race weekend. It's going to have all the information you need, but for those of you who are more visual or audio inclined, this video is designed just for you. And also it's a little tough to get 800 people together in one room to talk about all this fun stuff.
Yeah, and this way you guys are kind of prepared for the race a week in advance, and you can always revisit the video or the participant guide or the audio file and just kind of refresh on some of the information that we're going to give you guys today.
And some of the stuff too, we want to make sure you guys just have the best experience possible.
Yeah.
So some of the things that we're going to be showing you are going to help to make everything go smooth on race weekend, so that when you see it or come across it, that you'll just know what's going on. If you guys have additional questions, please feel free to comment below this video. If you're listening to this, then you're going to have to probably message us on social media, and we'll be sure to get to all your questions as soon as we can below. But this is just designed as an overview to give you that information.
And you're also welcome to email us anytime. We will be accepting emails and try to get back to you and answer your questions as fast as we can. Email info@AeroViperRunning. We'll go ahead and put it up on the screen, and we will get to your questions the best we can.
So we want to touch a little bit on the history of the race. If you don't know already about what this race is, this is the 15th year of the Javelina Jundred. It was started by local trail runner Jerry Kay, and she thought to herself, hey, the Pemberton Trail is pretty cool. It's a 15-mile loop in McDowell Park. Wouldn't it be kind of a sick joke if we held a 100-mile race here and just had people looping around in the desert? So you guys are all part of a massive practical joke. No, in reality, once she bounced that idea off a couple people, they're like, actually, it's kind of a good idea. There's good support. It's
really well marked. The McDowell Mountain Regional Park actually marks that Pemberton Trail with permanent markers. It's easy
just
to
a
follow.
Beautiful area, and they wanted to make it a party run. That's from day one. It was always designed to be a little bit off.
It's a little quirky.
And we want to try and keep that essence alive.
Yeah.
We want to thank, first off, some of our sponsors that are joining us this year. Hoka One One came on in a big way for 2017, and we're super excited about all the exciting things we have going on with them.
Yeah.
They're going to have a big presence out on the race site, as well as bringing some athletes with them. So Jim Walmsley, Hayden Hawks, and Sage Canaday are all going to be out at the race this year. They're not running the race, but they're going to be participating. So they're going to be out there volunteering on course. Hoka is sponsoring the Coyote Camp aid station, so they're going to have a big tent out there. And they're not going to be out there the whole time, but they're going to be out there part of the time. I mean, these guys are pros. They need to be training as well. So we can't have them serving bottles all night, but you'll have a chance to potentially get your bottle filled by Sage or Hayden or Jim. Bring your cameras, get those selfies.
Absolutely.
So that's really cool. We think it's a really great part. They also have an athlete, Patrick Reagan, who will probably be vying for the win. He's a Hoka-sponsored runner, and he'll be out there as well.
This is his first 100, correct?
First 100-miler, and he's good buddies with Zach Bitter, so that's going to be exciting.
That's awesome.
And Hoka also is going to have a big presence and part of our race expo, and we're really excited about the expo this year. We really want to encourage everyone to come out, and we have a lot going on, more than in years past. So it's not just pop in, pick up your bib number. We really want to make it an experience, and kind of a Southwest desert experience. So we're going to have drinks out there. Let's talk a little bit about that. There's some Hoka-themed drinks. So we've got the Speed Goat, the Magda Bomb, and the Chasing Walmsley. These are all going to be cocktails. And even if you as a runner don't want to be, throwing a couple back the night before your race, crews are more than welcome to, or pacers. I'm sure they're gonna love it. And if you're more of the beer connoisseur, we've got a custom Javelina brew coming, and it's going to be called the Hoppy Javelina IPA.
So our big charity sponsor for our beer garden this year is Huss Brewing. It's a local company. We love to partner with Huss Brewing. They've been our partner in several of our races throughout the year, and this year they wanted to do something really special with us for Javelina, and So we actually got to go to the brewery and help brew this special IPA for you guys. So Hoppy Javelina will be at the expo and at the Charity Beer Garden at headquarters on race day.
And if you are in town a little early, they're also going to be tapping it at their 2 brewery locations here in Phoenix. So you can pick up a pint there.
Yep.
You can pick up some at the expo and in cans on race day as well.
Awesome.
Really cool stuff.
Yeah.
What other sponsors do we have on board this year? We just Goo is going to be providing some nutrition for us this year. They're going to have some gels out on course. We're going to have drink mixes as well.
Yep.
And we're just really excited to have them as part of it. If you guys check out those toasted marshmallow, if you haven't had that yet, it's freaking amazing. Good. And it's also a collaboration with Hoka, so it's kind of all fits together real nicely.
Yep.
And it's going to be big thanks to Goo again for coming on board. Talk about some of our sponsors.
Other sponsors, local sponsors. We've got Squirrel's Nut Butter. Is an all-natural anti-chafe salve. If you guys are looking for a really just solid product, all-natural, based out of Flagstaff, Squirrel's Nut Butter. It's really, really good, especially if you're looking for an anti-chafe product. Then we've also got Mascarima, nutritional...
Heritage Pinole. So it's basically what you find in the Copper Canyons of Mexico, what the Tarahumara have run on for centuries. They've formulated that into some different endurance products, which you'll be able to try out at the expo. I think they'll have some samples over there available.
Yep, for sure. We are also sponsored by Run Steep, Get High and Mountain Outpost. If you guys are unfamiliar with the YouTube channels, check out Run Steep, Get High for some inspirational videos and vlogs by Jamil. And we've also got Mountain Outpost.
Your weekly dose of news and challenges. A little bit of funny.
Just a little bit of
don't take it too seriously. We'll also have a bunch of new Run Steep, Get High merchandise and Mountain Outpost merchandise as well available at the expo and race weekend. So be sure to check that out. We've got some new styles in that weren't previously available.
Yeah.
So check it out.
Freak Brothers Pizza is also one of our sponsors. They will be out at the headquarters serving up wood fire pizza. They're amazing. They were there last year. They'll begin here this year. And if you guys are looking for just a really solid made to order right there on site, Freak Brothers Pizza is going to have you hooked up. A couple others, we actually have Run Far joining us as a sponsor this year. It's a local 501c3 charity out of Prescott, Arizona. They do some amazing things for veterans and the children of veterans who have lost the battle to PTSD and suicide. So check them out. It's run-far.org. And then we've also just taken on Pickle Juice as one of our electrolyte salt sponsors. We will have that at the aid station as well. If you guys have issues with cramps or low on electrolytes, take a shot of pickle juice and it'll get you straight. So
cool. Does that cover all of them?
That covers all of them.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So talk about the Ultra Trail World Tour. This is we're a part of the Ultra Trail World Tour again, the Javelina Jundred. One of only 2 races in North America, part of the UTWT, along with Western States. So we will have Brendan Davies is a UTWT athlete that's coming over from Australia. He's going to be joining us. And, you know, this is kind of a collection of some of the top races around the world. So it's really great to be part of that whole group of iconic races. Yeah. Right, we wanted to note our historical finish rate is not great, guys. No. For the 100 miler. We've seen about a 50%, maybe a hair higher than 50% historically. Things to think about. This is going to be a hot race, guys.
Yeah.
We're looking at the kind of 8-day forecast right now. Not totally set, but they're predicting mid to high 80s. So we're not getting a break this year. It looks like it's going to be a warm one out there. Please be prepared for that.
Yep.
And also, I think, you know, we say this every year, but starting out too quick is, I think, something that gets a lot of people at the end of the day.
Yeah.
This loop is very runnable, and while that might seem easy, it hurts your ability to pace yourself based upon the terrain. So it's easy to just run the whole loop, and when you get to that back half, it's slightly downhill, and you can start burning up the miles and cruising and feeling good on loop 1, and then loop 2 and 3 can really start to bite you. So keep that in mind. Start times and location, we just want to clarify that. The 100 miler will start at 6 a.m. on Saturday, and the 100K will start at 7 a.m., so 1 hour later. And those are all, we are Mountain Standard Time here.
Yes.
We never change our time. Everyone else does. Arizona is That's all we got to say.
Yeah.
So runner communication, we've sent out our runner email already. So if you have not received that, please let us know. I think we sent it based upon your Ultra sign up email address. That's the one we have on file. So go ahead and check that email address in case you use multiple.
And if it's not in your email address, just double check spam as well. Sometimes those sometimes tend to get lost.
And I think most of the information in that email is also in the participant guide.
Correct.
So just you can download that directly off of our website. Schedule going on for the expo is going to be Friday, October 27th at La Puesta del Sol. It's approximately 4 miles away from the host hotel, the Radisson. It's about a 20-minute drive from the park, I'd say.
Yeah.
You have to drive back through Fountain Hills. This is a new venue this year, so if you've been before, keep in mind we're not at the hotel this year. We're not in the conference rooms. We have a giant event space that is really amazing. They've got a Western town, bars, all kinds of things. Yeah. The setting is amazing. You can see kind of across the way, you can see the McDowell Mountains and the course where you'll be running. It's a great perspective, I think. It's really amazing, and we encourage you to come and check that out.
So a couple things that you guys can expect at the participant expo. You're going to pick up your bib, so all participants are going to be able to get their bib, your parking pass, your swag bags full of all of the goodies that we're providing. You're also going to have access to all of the vendors and the sponsors that we just mentioned previously.
And in addition to that, iRun will be on site there.
Yes.
We didn't mention them. And they will have Hoka shoes for sale. They'll have other products, socks, I think.
Goos, things like that. Like
nutrition
any
products.
Nutrition products that you guys might need. They're going to be there.
And as well as all the previous sponsors we had already mentioned. And then we also mentioned a little bit about the drinks as well. Those will be on site, available for purchase all day.
Yep. And then in addition to kind of just creating an entire experience at this expo, we're actually going to have Catering Caravan out there. They are providing 2 trucks during the afternoon and another truck during the evening. So you can actually stay and grab lunch with us or grab dinner right before the film festival. Film festival starts from 7 to 8.
We're going to have an athlete panel that afternoon as well. Do you know what time that's going to be happening at?
It should be at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock.
So we'll have quite a few athletes from Hoka as well as some of our top runners from the actual race. We'll be doing a bit of a session with them. Mm-hmm. I'll be hosting it, asking them some questions about the race, and we'll probably take some audience questions as well. So that's kind of, like I said, we want to encourage people to go out and stay for a couple hours if you don't mind hanging out and kind of milling around and just kind of having a chance to meet and chat with everyone.
Yep.
A little bit more than the conference room before, like last year. We ask you, don't bring any of your drop bags to the expo. We'll be handling those all at the venue, so you can place your finish line drop bags on Friday on site or just on race morning. So,
yeah.
Moving on to quiet hours back at headquarters, it's going to be 8 p.m. Friday night, and I think we'll talk a little bit more about the camping in a minute. So just a couple things about the race. So our timing, your chip is going to be on your bib, and that will be recording laps at the start finish line as well as at Jackass Junction. So make sure that is on the outermost layer of your clothing on the front of your person.
Yep.
So don't put it on your backpack. Don't put it on your hat. We need
to be able
on
to
the
see
front
it.
facing. We need to be able to see your bib as well.
Yep.
On your bib, there will be an emergency phone number, and that will also be listed at other places around the park. So if there's any sort of medical issue that you need, call that number. It will go directly to our medical team, which we'll also talk about a little bit later as well. Course markings. Let's go over those real quick. First off, the Pemberton Trail is the one we use the most, but there's a couple others we use as well. It is pretty well marked, but we will have arrowed signs out there around the whole loop.
We will. So these arrowed signs, you'll see these laminated yellow signs. During the night, they actually are reflective, so they'll be able to glow at night, so you'll be able to see them with your headlamp. So follow these signs. If there are critical junctions, left, right turns, then you will also see these laminated signs out there. We've also marked the entire course. The right way positive marker is this orange ribbon with black polka dots. Polka dots are your positive markers. And then for the night, we also attach these reflective tags to these positive markers, so you'll be able to see those at night as well. If you come across blue and white checkered ribbon, checkered is check yourself, you've gone the wrong way, do not go where the checkered ribbon leads.
Something new we're doing this year is the safety markers. So these are going to be placed at 1 mile intervals around the loop, and they're going to be A through Z I don't know if we need a double A yet. We have to totally check. So,
Yeah.
but these will be lettered, and they're just a quick check approximately every mile on the course. So it also has that emergency phone number. Phones do work almost everywhere on the course, especially if you have Verizon. They work really well. Others work less well. They'll be reflective at night with these red reflectors on the side, so it kind of just gives you a little bit of a check-in to see where you're at on the loop. So if there is an issue and you end up calling the emergency number, if you know which sign you saw last or which sign you are nearest to, that will help us to find you quicker.
Yes.
And we will talk about medical, I think, a little bit later in the program, but this is just kind of something you'll see on course this year that's different and new.
Okay.
Let's talk about parking.
Okay. Parking passes. Each one of our participants actually receive a participant parking pass with their entry. These are $6 a day, but for you guys, you're going to have your name and bib number printed on the parking pass. You may pick those up at the entry gate at McDowell Mountain Regional Park or at the expo. And then what you'll do is tear off one half of this, give it to that entry gate, and that is your entry for both days. And then put the other half in your dash of the car.
So for parking inside the park, we ask that everyone park in the competitive track parking lot. So just past the entry gate, that will be on your left side.
Yep.
And we will have it clearly signed that that's where you need to park. There will be no parking before that road turn, but after on the sides of the road, it is okay to park there. Just please do not park like off into the desert. Just one lane on the right or left side, and there will be no parking before the turn to competitive track or to headquarters. So let's talk about our camping passes and check-in. Kind of one of the great things about this race is there's camping right on site, and there's space right on course to set up pop-up tents and those kind of things. It's pretty awesome. That will begin Friday morning at 7 a.m. So we ask that you don't show up Thursday, please. We are still setting up for you guys. We're still preparing. We have a lot to do, a lot to set up, and we can't have people parking there on Thursday. So please arrive 7 a.m. Friday. There will be enough room for everyone, so you don't need to panic and get there right away.
Especially if you've already reserved your tent camping permit, RV permit, vehicle camping. It's based like first come, first serve, but we've allotted for everyone who's already made the reservations.
And we have a lot of on-course spaces for tents this year as well. I think we've actually increased the space for pop-up tents right along the route, so there will be even more opportunity to have your pop-up tent right on course, so you don't need to panic.
Yeah.
So you'll pick up your tent camping permits right on site, so you don't need to, you won't get that from the expo, you'll get it right on site, and you'll see one of the Aravaipa staff members for that, and they'll kind of direct you where you'll find the tent. So if you rented a tent ahead of time, we have these tags.
If you are coming in, setting up your own tent in kind of that area, and you're setting up all your own equipment, you're going to need this orange tag. It's the tent camping permit. And then if you have rented from us, small tent, large tent, cots, all of that, these will be...
They'll be attached to the tent, and you'll pick up a sticker with your name on it.
With your name on it.
And then you will place it on to claim it.
Correct.
That goes for RV and vehicles as well. We actually have hang tags for your vehicle this year.
So RV, vehicle camping. If you guys are planning to camp with one of your rigs, whether it's car or RV, just make sure that these are in your window or hung where we can see them at all times.
If you're looking for site plans for what everything looks like, if you're a very visual person, we will have that posted on our website and also in the runner email that's coming up.
Yes.
Okay.
So there's another runner email that will be distributed with a site plan as well.
Just a side note, there are no shuttles to the park from Fountain Hills, so you're going to need to carpool or a Lyft or Uber, something like that, or a taxi from, say, a hotel. There's a lot of people staying at the different hotels in Fountain Hills, so maybe make a friend if you don't have a way to get there, if you maybe just took an airport shuttle in. Weather this year, it's going to be hot.
It's just going to be hot, man.
Yeah, so we thought maybe we'd get a break this year. We're looking at mid-80s. I don't believe that's nearly as hot as last year. I think we were mid-90s last year, so but we're going to keep a close eye on the weather and recommend doing the same. Fountain Hills seems to be the closest weather station, or Rio Verde, Arizona.
Yeah.
You can take a look at either of those. Hot weather tips. Wear a hat. If you have a full brimmed hat, probably even better. Keep yourself cool and wet. If you put water on your shirt or clothing, it's going to have an evaporative cooling effect, and it's going to help. Let's talk a little bit about our ice plan this year.
Yeah. So we have actually increased our ice capacity for this year at Javelina. Each one of our aid stations will have access to quite a lot of ice. We have actually ordered almost 25,000 pounds of ice to have on site for you. And if your crews, family, spectators are also looking for ice, we will be selling ice at our Aravaipa store as well.
Perfect. And there's also a temperature swing in the desert. It's so dry out here that as soon as the sun dips behind the mountains, the temperature does drop. So be prepared to that. We don't know how much it will drop exactly, but we're out away from the city, so there's not anything to really keep the heat in, and it can leave pretty quickly. So if you're sweating a lot during the day and all of a sudden it drops 30 to 40 degrees,
you're gonna feel it.
Then we've seen hypothermia out here before, and that can be another factor. I think the most drops happens right around the sunset time, so either right before, right after, temperature swing happens. We see a lot of dropped runners out at Jackass. So yeah, we just really recommend, if you're heading out on your loop, even if it's 3 p.m, but it's going to be dark before you get back, bring a layer with you, or have one at your drop bag.
Yeah, so when you pack a headlamp, also just take a layer.
Sunset's going to be at 5:39. There will be light until maybe about 6. So keep that in mind when you're heading out on your loop. You don't want to be caught out there without a light. Well, there's going to be some moon. There's about 56% of visible light from the moon. So it's not a full moon this year, but it will be out until setting about 1 a.m. Through that night. So let's talk about our medical team this year. We have revamped our medical program for this race this year. We are now working with MedStar Solutions, and they've worked with a lot of big endurance events. One of their key directors has worked with the New York City Marathon. So we've kind of really stepped up our medical program this year with our EMTs and paramedics on site. They're going to have EMTs and medical providers stationed not only at headquarters, but also at Jackass Junction and Coyote Camp this year. Rattlesnake does not, but it is very easy for us to get to that station. We will have roaming medical as well. There will be a roaming medical team on bikes from noon until midnight, I believe.
Yep.
So they will be riding on course, available for dispatch for any medical solutions. And they will be, again, also following the safety markers. So if you can find the safety marker you're nearest to and provide that information, if you either see a medical incident or you experiencing one, that will help them to get to you quicker. We will also have a safety patrol of experienced runners that will be out on course. At any given time, there will be 2 teams of 2 runners, and they will be going around the loop just as you runners are, in pairs. They will have extra supplies with them. They'll also be keeping an eye out for anyone experiencing any problems out there to help relay that information to our medical team. We would prefer that if there is an emergency on course, that you call this number. So honestly, if you want to program this number into your phone right now, we would highly recommend it. With the way that the emergency response works at the park, overloading the local 911 providers with calls from the park is not going to help you get help quicker.
Yeah.
And it's not going to help just the system in general in that area. We're in more of a rural area. It's been overloaded in the past. So for us to get those calls to our medical team is, from what they're telling us, the best way to get you the best care out there, and also to provide the safest event for everyone, not only at our event, but in the surrounding area. If we have 911 calls going out to them, they're not able to respond to other people in the community that need that service as well. If they determine that they need 911 to come, they will. We actually can dispatch helicopters. We can dispatch ambulances if we need them. With on site. We also have a doctor on site this year, so they will be handling all of that. They can get a helicopter out ASAP if they talk to you and that is what you need. But we just want to try and go through our MedStar Solutions team as much as possible for those incidents. So we would just appreciate that if you guys could help us with that.
Yep.
Let's talk about pacing. So we use the sunset rule. So it's after 5 p.m. We will allow pacers. So kind of if you're heading right into that sunset zone, all pacers, please sign a waiver at headquarters at the start-finish line. You don't need to do it at the expo, but just before you start pacing, just sign the waiver, and that's all you need to get out there.
And then any runners looking for a pacer who is not paired with a pacer already, if you come to the start-finish line and request, we can always pair you with a pacer. We've got volunteers looking to pace runners at the Javelina Jundred all night long, so you let us know.
We have a few race rules we want to go over.
Yep.
So it's a closed course, and it's as marked. So we do have a proper direction for all loops that you run, so please familiarize yourself with those ahead of time. It just switches directions each time. So the first loop for both the 100-mile, 100K is in the clockwise direction, and then it's going to switch to counterclockwise and so on and so forth. So please keep that in mind, that you do need to complete the full loops, and the first loop is slightly different. Keep that in mind as well. You do need to complete them in order, and we do expect that you understand that and that you follow that. So the easiest way is, go out the same way you just came in when you're heading out on that loop. There is a short out and back through the parking lot that you will experience. You need to come all the way in and cross that timing mat at the start-finish line. That's very important, otherwise we will not log you. And that is located in a different area from the aid station. So don't hit the aid station and then turn right around. That's not the course. You come through the aid station. You can actually hit it on the way in. You can go through all the teams and tents and everything this year.
Yep.
And then start finish line, turn around, and then you'll go right back through all of it. So it's your choice if you want to hit it both directions or just on the way in or just on the way out. But we need you to cross that finish line every time. No littering. We are very serious about keeping the park clean and cleaner than we found it. So we would ask that if you are not at an aid station where there's a trash receptacle, that you please carry it until you find one.
Yep, and if you see trash on the course, respect the park, pick it up, and put it in the nearest receptacle when you get to the aid station.
We will also have recycling available. We have a recycling dumpster at headquarters, so if you guys do have recyclable items, please look for that. We'll have it signed this year.
We will.
Okay.
And just a note about dogs. McDowell Mountain Regional Park does allow dogs within the park, but at headquarters, we do not allow dogs at all. So if you have four-legged friends, just make sure that they do not come into headquarters, but they are welcome at McDowell Mountain Regional Park.
Yeah. If you're camping with us, if you're running with us, please find a sitter or a pet resort, some place to have your dog safe for the weekend.
So they're not allowed on course or at headquarters.
We just have too much going on to have pets join us this year.
Very busy.
Trekking poles, we do not allow them unless there's a special circumstance. We understand sometimes there are circumstances, so that's a case-by-case basis.
Yeah.
If you're someone who's interested in that, please contact us ahead of time so that we can kind of look at your special situation. All right, let's talk about our cutoffs real quick. These are on our website, but 6 a.m., which is 24 hours, that is our cutoff to leave for your final loop of the race from headquarters, so please make sure you're through there by 6 a.m. on Sunday. Our overall cutoff for the event, for both events, is 30 hours for the 100-mile, 29 for the 100K, and that's at noon on Sunday. So please keep that in mind as you're building your pacing schedules. Dropping from the race. If you drop from the race, we need you to inform one of our radio volunteers at the remote aid stations or the finish line timing tent at our main aid station. Please let us know if you are dropping from the race. Otherwise, we're going to have to try and track you down in some other way, which we don't want to do.
Yeah, we
want to make sure you're safe.
We want to account for every runner, and if you leave the course at any time and you decide that you do not want to return to the course, just please let us know. You can let a race official know, staff member. It's best to actually talk to the radio operators. But yes, just at some point, please let us know.
Let's talk about our race awards real quick. So we offer belt buckles for our 100-mile and 100K finishers. Mm-hmm. So these are them right there. We have our 100-mile, our 100K. If you're sub 24, you get a larger one. And just as a note that you are eligible for the award for the race that you start on race morning. So if you are starting the 100-mile race, you're eligible for the 100-mile buckles, but not for the 100K, regardless of the distance you cover. If you don't complete the 100-mile distance, you'll be marked as a DNF. If you run the 100K, obviously you're eligible for that buckle and for those results. If you would like to switch down, if you're not maybe feeling up to it in advance, you can switch from the 100-mile to the 100K, either at the Race Expo or race morning. Just make sure that you start the race that you intend to finish.
Correct.
And I just want to lay out our expectations so that you know what you're signing up for when you get out there. Okay.
I mean,
let's talk a little bit about our aid stations and who is going to be helping you guys out. So we have 4 aid stations. Mm-hmm. There is the Javelina headquarters. That's our main aid station area. It is located this year in a little bit of a different area than it was last year. We're further over by our first aid tent to hopefully provide a little better service for you. Drop bags will also be over in that area, and it will be adjacent to the start-finish line. So we're trying to concentrate all of those services a little bit more to the west end of the parking lot.
This is also where you're going to find your crew, your family members, any spectators. This is where crew access and pacer access is. It's the only place on the course that crew is allowed.
Yeah, so crew, you can't go out to Jackass or Rattlesnake or Coyote, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Hoka headquarters, they're going to have a lot going on right across from the start-finish line. Great place for crew to hang out, go pop in, talk to their team out there. They're going to have life-size Jenga, life-size beer pong, and we encourage you guys to wear costumes over there too. Go show them your best costume.
For sure.
Coyote Camp, that's going to be our Hoka-sponsored aid station. They're going to have a giant tent out there. That's also where the Hoka athletes are going to be there into the evening and the night section of the race. Rattlesnake Ranch is the home of Surprise Running Club. They're a West Valley group that is passionate about the running scene. They're going to be staffing that one this year. And then Jackass Junction, Uncle J-Lou, that's the Disco Surprise. So it's a good time out there. That one will be hopping probably from sundown until the early hours of the morning. So it should be a good time.
J-Lou does make it special.
Just a reminder about our course that it is the washing machine loop. I think we covered that already. But you guys will be just switching directions each time, just like a washing machine. Drop bags
are allowed at only 2 places on the course. It's going to be at Jackass Junction and at headquarters. This is a pretty standard size. For your remote drop bag at Jackass Junction, we ask that you do not go above this size of drop bag, just so we can transport them a little bit easier for you.
If you bring a giant tub this big, it will probably be left at headquarters. So please keep it manageable.
Yeah. If you are done with your drop bags at Jackass, there will be a discard pile for all of the drop bags.
There'll actually be a giant cardboard tub.
Yep. So on your last loop, or even previous to that last loop, if you are done with that drop bag, make sure it goes in that tub, and we will get those back to headquarters for you to pick up.
Yeah, that'll expedite. It'll expedite the transfer of your drop bag. So last loop through, just remember, hey, drop it in the bin, and it should probably almost be there by the time you get back.
Yeah.
Otherwise, drop bags are scheduled to be back by 10 a.m. on Sunday. The last team at Jackass is going to be bringing all those back. Mm-hmm. But if you want it earlier, say probably about when you finish, drop it in that bin.
Drop it in that bin. Let's talk a little bit about the amenities at Javelina headquarters. Again, just to kind of touch on our vendors, Freak Brothers Pizza will be out there slinging pizzas from, I think, 10 a.m.
all the way through the night.
All the way through the night and into the morning.
Also on Friday, they're going to be out there while you're setting up your camping tents and everything for the afternoon and into the evening.
There you go. We'll also have Foxy Fruit acai bowls. They do all natural, like really healthy, amazing frozen acai bowls and smoothies. Really healthy option for you guys out there. We also have popcorn and snow cones by Fountain Hills Water and Ice. And we have single speed coffee that will be set up for you Saturday morning. So if you were looking for that little extra kick of espresso or latte or something other than coffee, you can visit Single Speed Coffee vendor in the morning before you start your race.
And also our beer garden will be open on race day with the Hoppy Javelina IPA and other beers as well if you're not into the hops.
Yep.
Also, we'll have the Aravaipa store with Javelina merchandise, Run Steep, Get High merchandise, and Mountain Outpost will be all available there.
This year, our charity beer garden is actually sponsored by Southwest Wildlife Conservation Center. We've worked with this charity through many of our past events, and we kind of wanted to highlight them for this event. They are actually a rescue and rehabilitation center located here in Phoenix. They do amazing things to rescue animals and desert wildlife that have been injured, displaced, or kind of picked up by people, and they give them sanctuary and then are able to re-release them into the wild. So 50% of your proceeds, if you buy a Hoppy Javelina or any of the beer at Huss Brewing, 50% of those proceeds go to support the Southwest Wildlife Conservation Center.
Cool. I think that's about it. We're just going to wrap up this by saying, again, thank you to our sponsors. Yeah. Thank you for all of you runners coming back. We're so excited to host you. We want to see some good costumes.
I want to see some great costumes. Yeah.
You guys are all vying for, we've got our Best Costume Award along with some other fun awards. So get to it. All right, guys. Have a good one. And again, if you guys have any additional questions, please type them below. Or you can find us on social media, or you can email us as well. Yep. We will be monitoring the ones especially on this video over the next coming days, just so that if you have anything in your mind, there's no question too dumb to ask. So please do it. We'll see you guys soon.